Imagine you were coming to fry yam for lunch and eat it with some spicy chicken. But then you found out that this yam has very high levels of mercury. In fact, beyond the acceptable levels of mercury. Well, that is a reality that many people in Ghana are facing today because researchers have seen that the yam, the cassava, and other food that we are eating today have unacceptable levels of mercury because of the activities of galamsey in the eastern region. Now, you may think that you live in Accra, you live in the Volta region, you even live in America, and so this doesn't affect you. But if you have a taste for locally grown food and you buy food at the market, either the international market, African market in Europe, US, or you buy it in your local market at Agbogloshi, Adenta, Dome, Madina, you could probably be eating a lot of food with mercury in it. And so in this video, we are going to talk about why there's a need for everybody to have their own garden or farm in their house or anywhere that they buy land, starting from cocoyam and tuber fruits. Now, in Ghana, people eat a lot of fufu, like a lot of corn meals. So things like kinky, banku and stuff are very, very important. And I'm going to use this example of my local garden at home to demonstrate the types of food you can easily plant, those that grow with minimal care, and the ones that if you pay attention to, you will not need to go to the market again. So over here we have corn. Corn is very low to moderate effort in terms of maintenance and taking care of. Once you plant it, you water it, you tend to the garden, you remove weeds and stuff like that. They will grow on their own. Now we use corn for banku, we use for kinky, porridge. If you have a corn garden, corn growing requires little effort in terms of keeping and maintaining that garden. All you need to put the seeds in the soil, remove 1 or 2 weeds, and the corn is going to grow on its own. Now, corn is very, very important to us as Ghanaians because we eat a lot of banku, kinky. We use corn for porridge. Akple too, for the people who eat akple and fetri dechi. So corn is something that you should really do. Now remember, I'm going to tell you which of these crops you should not buy from the market. This over here is okra. And in the midst of the okra, we have tomatoes. We use tomatoes in like all the stews and soups that we do in Ghana today, I believe. And you can see that the okra is beginning to bud over here. Again, this is a very low effort plant. Tomatoes as well, you can see that they are beginning to flower over here, if you can see. So these can be mixed together. Now the okra also goes with the corn and the kinky, because you can eat banku and kinky with okra. Okra is really, really good, has great medicinal properties. Tomatoes you can use for all your stews and soups, even when you're frying eggs. Really, really important. Next, let's move to this is cocoyam. And again, we have okra by the side. Cocoyam leaves are what we call kontomire in Ghana. Kontomire is a delicious delicacy. I love it so much. You can eat it with the yam or even the cocoyam. Now the cocoyam is a tuber. It's a root crop. So that means that it has direct contact with the soil. And so what that means is in places where there is galamsey, the crop actually has direct contact with the mercury infested soil. And so you want to try and have your own cocoyam. So if you look around the garden, you can see there's a lot of cocoyam and kontomire. And the good thing is when you cut kontomire leaves, they regrow. So you can get some for your morning breakfast. Very organic, very healthy, really, really important. Now you need to stay to the end of this video because we are going to do a challenge and it's going to be really, really important. Another plant that I really love, which a lot of Ghanaians love and gets super expensive, is this one over here. This is avocado, pear, right? You can eat it with your yam, you can eat it with your cocoyam, you can eat it even with banku, beans, everything. It takes a long time for pear to grow, but once it grows, it becomes a solid tree that provides shade and provide fruit throughout the years and the ages. So you just need to make sure it's like medium to high maintenance, but once it grows, you are fine. You are going to enjoy it for the rest of your life. Again, we have more okra over here. We have more corn. Now let's move to something that a lot of people don't see. This right here is called alubrin to bring. In English, it's called soursop. sour sap, whatever it is, right? How do you call it where you are watching from? This also has very delicious fruit. The fruit has been known to have cancer healing or treating properties. Really, really important. So sour sap. Then to one of the staples in Ghana for a lot of people who eat fufu. Fufu. If you know fufu, this is cassava. The leaf looks like something, right? It looks like marijuana leaves, but it is cassava, right? So again, this is a tuber plant where the main crop itself gets direct contact with the soil. So this is something, again, you want to make sure you plant. Now the good thing is that cassava grows everywhere. Look at the nature of the soil over here. Very, very rocky all over. But cassava really, really grows in rocky soil. So it doesn't require any maintenance, any effort, very, very low effort. And that's another one over here, which is growing really, really well. See how tall it is and all that. And people also eat the cassava leaves. I hear a very popular girls' school in the central region of Ghana. They eat cassava leaves and palm oil and pepper and onion, right? And speaking of palm oil, pepper and onion and stuff, this right here is the leaf of yam. Again, yam is a tuber plant. And so what that means is that it has direct contact with the soil, and you need to plant yours, else you could be exposed to galamsey infested yam. Over here as well is one of the most important plants you can grow at home, in your backyard garden or your farm. This right here is a palm plant. Now, palm plant, Hosanna, 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 right? The ones they were waving when Jesus was moving with the donkey. This has multiple benefits. You get a palm fruit, which gives you soup, right? You also get palm wine, and you also get shade. And people also plant mushrooms around palm because they create like this kind of ecosystem where you can create mushrooms around it and they would really, really thrive. So palm is also a big export in many, many places. So once you do this, you are going to enjoy for the rest of your life. When it is growing up, it needs careful attention in terms of watering and all that. But after it grows up, that's all. For the rest of your life, you are going to enjoy multiple times. So you can see again cocoyam, cassava, all these things over here on very rocky land. Today it's crazy because ripe plantain is so expensive in Ghana. 3 for how much? 20 Ghana cedis. And that's why, again, you need to focus on growing plantain. Plantain, once it starts like this, you don't need to do anything again. It's going to make sure it grows up and it's going to give you food for the rest of your life. Really, really important. So plantain, you add it to your cassava, you do your fufu, you add it to your yam, you do your ampesi, you can do plantain chip, cocoa and beans. You can also do kofi brokman with granite. Very, very important. And again, granite is something that you can easily grow and it will come up. Beans as well. So the cocoa and beans, it goes really, really well. Now we have something very interesting here as well. This right here is onions. You can even cut the leaves like this and eat. But if you allow it to grow, you would also get the full onion. So you can see that a lot of things grow naturally in our soil. You can just throw the seeds and scatter them and they'll begin to grow. Now, if you come up here, see on all these rocks and blocks and all these things, look at the rocky nature of the soil, right? This here is one very important plant. They call it abedru. So this is turkey berry. You use it for soup. It has a lot of medicinal and healing properties. Then if you come here, this right here is watermelon, juicy sweet watermelon. Again, you may get some weeds coming up, so you just need to find the weeds and uproot them out of your watermelon patch. But watermelon doesn't also require a lot of, care and attention. It's low to moderate effort. It will grow and give you juicy watermelon. Then over here we have more fruits. So this right here is a coconut plant. It looks like the palm plant, but it's coconut. Of course, we all know what coconut is. It gives you shade. it also gives you juicy water. It gives you juicy fruit, coconut. God bless coconut forever. This is the last fruit that we have in the house. This is pawpaw. Pawpaw leaves, pawpaw seeds, and pawpaw fruits are very, very medicinal and are also very delicious. If someone is suffering from like constipation and stuff, they can eat pawpaw and it helps to rid them of constipation. And of course, you could also plant mango. So we are going to fill this whole space. So it tells you that you can also do something. Sometimes people buy parcels of land, but they don't have enough money to build. One thing that you can also do with your parcel of land is to actually start a farm. That ensures that your land is not just lying down fallow. You are not going to be fighting litigation, land guards and all that, because there's actually activity there. And you are going to get food crops that you can eat to sustain you, reduce the cost that you spend overall when it comes to buying food stuff from the market. You are going to get better quality organic food to eat. And it also helps generally to preserve the land. And so for me, I think that even if you buy a half plot or a quarter plot like this is, you can start a farm on it. Or everybody who is starting a building project needs to also have greenery in mind. See this beautiful cassava that I'm hugging over here. You should be able to have that in mind. Don't just concrete your whole floor. It's not good. Leave space for greenery. Leave space especially for the food that you are going to eat. Really, really important. So now my challenge to you, my dear viewer, is I want you to also send me videos of the plants and garden that you have at your home. We are going to compile them and be doing a series on it so that we also encourage each other and see what we are all doing. I want the community, everybody who is watching, send us what plants do you have, at what stage is it, how much of your house is your garden occupying, or do you have a land dedicated to your garden and your plants, so that we can all begin to grow sustainability. We can all begin to have a mindset of planting the food that we eat and living better lives, organic food, so that we don't eat some of these galamsey infested foods. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and then use the link below to send us your videos of your garden, your farm, etc. Make sure you introduce yourself, tell us your name, let us know the location of your garden or plants. You could say, oh, it is at Abokobi, it's at Pram Pram, it's at Lakeside, it's at Bodriase, it's at Kaswa, it's at Brekum, Brekusu, or wherever, you know. And then we are going to feature you in an upcoming series. Thanks, Bebre. Charlie, can you believe I forgot that you can also use cocoa for eto? In fact, you can use mankeni for eto. And this is also a palm plant, which has been neatly integrated into the concrete jungle. You see, so if you do your compound slabs like this also, you can actually plant the creeping plants and some few things over here, right? So house design, landscaping is really, really critical. If you want me to help you to do that one too, it's a service I can do. I'll stop my work and come and help you do all these things.